The chapter about isolated pawns is nearly ending, and I still have a couple of games that I would like to show because I think it's important that we read both the side of the story, of course, not only when you have an isolated pawn and everything is great and successful and you win the game, but also when you have an isolated queen pawn and you lose the game. So I hope this will help the guys who watch my videos to better understand the topic. So the game is Asenfuss Floor. It was played in Kemery 1937 and begins with e4. Floor was a very strong player of that period that also trained with botwinning. c6, d4, d5, e takes d5, c takes d5, c4. This is the important part because you see it's a Caro-Kann, but in reality once you exchange the central pawn it could be a kind of queen's gambit like Slav or any kind of transposition. So knight f6, knight c3, knight c6, bishop g5, e6, knight f3, and finally we have our isolated pawn that is with d takes c4, right? Bishop takes c4 and bishop e7, castle, castle, rook c1, a6 and a3. Here it says the famous radio Erawan would say white played well. The only problem is that he put his pieces in the wrong place and at the wrong time. Well, I don't know that there was a radio Erawan. Maybe he should have told us more about it. Because I think it's a reference of some Soviet times, so maybe for us that are in the Western world, we don't know it, right? b5, bishop a2, bishop b7. Yeah, of course, black's development is beautiful, that's true, and he has gained a little space on the queen side, right? Queen d3. Oh, look how greedy he is. He's thinking bishop b1, bishop takes, checkmate. Obviously, I don't think it can really work against someone like Floor, because Floor was Grandmaster level, top of the world in that time, 1937. Knight d5, and here there is a diagram, which means, again guys, sorry to repeat it over and over, when there is a diagram in a book, you must stop and think. In this case, you must think about what white should have played. Why? Because white is going to play a mistake. So, what is the right move? Grandmaster Marović says that the move bishop takes d5 appears logical. An advantage is there or there is not, but it cannot be forced upon the position. So white should have played this move. Instead, he played knight e4. So would you have said that knight e4 is a mistake? And if you think so, what is the answer that black must give? Because guys, again, I'm just showing you games and you don't think at all, you're just wasting your time. So I try to do it for you and also for me because, 6 months from now, I will not remember this game. And that's the beauty of being old. That you can make a new friend every day, or at least every 2 hours, and that you don't actually remember the games that you see. So my invitation to you guys is pause the video now and try to find the next move for black, because it's kind of very, very important, okay? So the next move for black is knight c b4. Boom! That's amazing, right? So what happens if you take on b4? That you lose a pawn. Why? Because knight takes b4. You have to move, right, the queen. It takes and threaten this, so you take again, and it takes back the piece. So he has gained a pawn, he says. So white played queen b1, and here, yes, now you recognize that black was right, that white put the pieces in the wrong position. Knight takes a2, queen takes a2, bishop takes g5, knight e takes g5, and now there is h6. So h6 is good also because sometimes you need to avoid a back rank checkmate. In this way, if you are not even losing a tempo, it's perfect, right? Knight e4, knight f4, rook c e1, bishop d5. So you see also the centralization of the pieces. b3 and f5, knight e d2, and queen f6. And of course now white start to have some trouble because he's scared of what can happen here, no? And so he plays king h1. Black continue his own centralization, rook a c8, taking control of the open file. Here white cannot play rook c1. Why? Because if you play that, black plays queen g6, attacking here, threatening checkmate. If you play g3, then black continue with queen g4, and queen g4 is attacking both of them, so it's not a good idea, right? Okay, so let's see what white played. He played queen b1. Interesting. So guys, in this case, what do you play if you are black? You should pause the video once more and try to find out what would you play in this situation if you were black. So Floor, that obviously was a great player, played knight takes g2. Boom. King takes g2. How do you continue here? Obviously with queen g5. You cannot take because it's pinned, right? He goes here. You cannot go on the same thing, otherwise he takes it, right? But once you go here, what happens? Oops, and this is gone, right? Of course, now white tries to defend this, but it's still pin, so it's not protecting. This is a thing that I learned when I was teaching chess, because this kind of pin is absolute. It means that the piece is not protecting anything because behind there is the king, so you cannot move it. Instead, it's not absolute, it's relative when you can take and maybe lose material. But when there is the king involved, it's terrible. And so, of course, black continued with queen takes d4, and at this point, white realized that maybe it was better to resign. So I thank you for watching, and here we have seen what happens against the isolated pawn. So I hope you enjoyed the game, and let's continue with the next one that is also a good lesson.